Eyes down for the Good afternoon, folks. It's 3:50 or 10 to 4 if you like. And there we are. Now I took number one daughter back to uni this morning, so I didn't get back here till it's gone 1 o'clock. But what have I done? I've cut that piece there. I've marked this piece up, drilled it for its pin and its screw. I've cocked up the hole because I thought the hole was in the centre of the piece of steel, and of course it wasn't, but I've saved it just by over drilling it, and then a little bit of work with a die grinder, and it's now got good clearance all around it, so that's enough. That's enough. So next we need to fabricate a piece of steel to go. Here's some I prepared earlier. From there, like that, but flat. These are amazing. These, none of them are cut at 90 degrees. I don't think there's one with a 90-degree piece on it, but they're a decent thickness. I'll be able to curve it, right? But they're a decent thickness and they'll be decently rigid. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is start with a 90-degree cut somewhere like that and work from there, and then curve it round. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring a piece out, probably cut that off at an angle or curve it like that, and bring a piece out here or a piece out there to come down from there round and onto that flat with a couple of screws. A couple of screws just drilled and tapped into a piece of metal. So the next thing to do really is to get a piece of steel and form a curve approximately right. Well, we can actually do it exactly right because we've got the cover to go on. So there we go. Right, and then I'll have to weld a piece of round bar to the back of it and transfer punch it. I remember what they're called, transfer punches. Weld a piece of round bar to the back of it and transfer punch it for this side fixing. And then we should be getting on. So next job is to curve a piece, or cut a piece of metal and curve it. So I shall start marking out, and I'll bring you back when I've done it. Bye now. Well, that's it, folks. 5 o'clock. We've got that piece assembled onto there, and we need to trim it where that white chalk line is, and then we need to fit that into there. And when that is, it's slightly too wide at the moment because I want to grind it down just to make it fit exactly. But first I need to take some off there. Right, this curve on this is not exact, but it fits to the profile of that fairly well at the moment. I think that I can just get, when this is fitted, I can weld it straight to that piece of steel there. And then all you need to do is take out 3 screws and it'll come off to put bigger gears in, if you need to. Right, that's it for today, folks. I'll see you all tomorrow for Tuesday's Fun and Games. Bye now. Afternoon, folks. Tuesday, 3:30. We've just done a poo run and picked a load more apples, and I've got a magnet holding it in place so that that's a straight line, and I've got a chalk line on there. Can you see that? Yes you can, to take my metal down to. So it's now a matter of taking that piece off, taking it down to just touching that chalk, and then slip it in and see if we're something alike. And of course if not, we can just, if we've taken too much off, we can just bend it back a little bit and we can just get a tack across the gap, which is what I'm going to do next. But that's looking really good. Then we have to make a little flat piece to go in there and up there so that we can put a round bar or something into there to pick up this side screw, fixing screw like that. So that'll be a round bar welded onto the whole plot when it's finished. But first, metal off, shaped up, and back on again to see if it fits. Bye now. And there we go folks, Tuesday, 5 o'clock. It's not perfect, but it's getting very close. I just have that bit there to do. I need to just curve that in a bit more, and down here, under here, I need to curve that out a bit more. So it's a matter of bending it sort of from there in a little bit, and then this down a bit. So it's quite difficult, but we will achieve it. But other than that, we've got the width about right. There's still a little more to come off there, but that's fitting pretty well. That's going in pretty well. It's going in pretty well. I've decided to get this bit right first and then finish this off, because that's this is about right. It's about on the right lines, but it's just needs I need to get this perfect before I can work out where that goes. So I'll bring you back tomorrow when I come back for more fun and games. Bye now. Afternoon folks. A tidy up has happened and a sidetrack. I have decided to quickly knock up, having been doing some research on the internet as usual, an oil burner for my heating system in there, because I now have, after the tractor, I now have more than 100 litres of waste oil. And I can't get rid of it because the CA site will only take one 5 litre tub per visit. So I've decided the best way to get rid of it is to burn it. So that's what I'm going to do. So having done a lot of research on the internet, this is what I'm making. And I just thought I'd bring you here to show you the method I use. If you want a flange, and I want a flange on there so that that fits over it, right? Pushes over the flange so that the oil can't run down that hole. So what I use is a socket and a piece of threaded rod. If you think about your socket set, alright, fair enough, this is a tractor size 3/4 socket set. If you think of any socket set, it's a set of varying diameter tubes, right? And if you get one of these, I've done this on exhaust many times to make a repair patch with a flange on it. If you get a socket the size that you want and you place it over there like that, right? And I had to make up a piece of tube the right diameter for the outside, and if you place that over there, I hope I've made that hole big enough. Big washer, nut, and draw it through, you end up with a flange. Now whether it works on stainless steel, I don't know, but I'm about to find out. But it works really well on mild steel. So I'm going to tighten this down now and see what happens. Right, I'll bring you back in a minute. Bye now. And there we go folks, it was only a partial success because of the hardness of the stainless steel, but believe it or not, it fits. So there we go. So with a bit of bodging, a bit of tack welding and hole filling, that'll do the job. Right, so now you know how to put a flange like that on a piece of metal. I think I made 2 cock-ups with this. First of all, it's stainless steel, and secondly, I didn't make the centre hole large enough. I should have put a bigger centre hole in it and turned up less. But it's worked. Nevertheless, it's worked. Right, onward. I shall bring you back in a bit and show you some more when I've done it. Right folks, there is some argument about what the time is. Radio 1 says it's just gone 4 o'clock, but my watch and the computer says it's 4:50, so there you go. There we are. Hole drilled through there, oil pipe, drip pipe into there, and then a little Chinaman's hat over there going out the exhaust, right? And I hope this will be a blue flame burner, because I'm going to put a little fan on it. I'm pretty sure I've got a little fan that would be just right for this. I'm going to put a little fan on it and blow it and have a variable speed on it, because I've got a variable speed control as well, and just see if we can get it to burn with a blue flame, which would be excellent if we can. But that's our burner finished, and I was amazed that when I actually put some I actually put water in it. That's a bit of fire cement there. I actually put water in it, and there was only one very slight trickle, really fine trickle out of all that crap welding. So I've just given it a skim out with fire cement, and we'll call that done. So there's our burner ready. Tomorrow, what I have to do now is lift that up on a little stand that allows the air to get underneath it, but is sealed to the outlet of the heater, so that it plugs into the outlet of the heater, and the air can only get in to the flame by coming underneath and going up the top, up the spout there. So we will see what that is like, maybe tomorrow, if we get a burn out of it tomorrow. That will depend entirely on how it all goes. See if I can get here early tomorrow. But for now, I've got to go and pick number 2 daughter up. So there you go. So let me just show you where it's going, how it's going to fit. Let me just show you how it's going to fit. Right, here is the stove. That's the air inlet there, and that's the outlet to the heat exchanger that warms the air. Now that is going to sit somewhere there, like that. Maybe even a bit lower than that, maybe down there. It can go there. Right, and it's going to have a duct that seals around there, because that's a metal tube. It seals around there and goes underneath, so the only air that can get in comes up through there. And then on the outside, I'm pretty sure I've got a nice little round fan that I can mount on there, and we'll see how it goes. And of course we can vary the speed and vary the air. I'll have to find some way of seeing into it when it's on, because I've also got at least 2 gallons of vegetable oil, and I can get an endless supply of waste vegetable oil from my mate at the chipping. So this would save a lot of wood cutting. Having said that, I don't intend to run it on oil all the time. So there you go. Right folks, that's it for today. I'll see you all tomorrow for more fun and games. Bye now. Good afternoon folks. As you can see by the mess, I've been bodging furiously. And this is what I've come up with. That needs capping off, and it needs capping off underneath, but there's our burner. There's our air inlet. That can be pulled out and we can make various types. I think the best type of air distributor here is going to be lots of angled punch outs, so that the air swirls around in a circle, right, and then goes out of the top. That might not be big enough yet, I might have to cut that back some. But basically it's there. This part fits into here like that. It does fit into the vanity. That fits into there like that, And then the burner pan fits onto there like that, and the lid drops on like that, and then out here will be a short piece of pipe with a fan on it. And if you look down there, you can see the filler hole, not quite lined up at the moment, but you can see the hole where the oil's going to go in. Can I line that up better? That looks better. Yes, there's the filler hole where the oil's going to go in. So that'll be capped off. There'll be a fan blowing in there and there'll be burning oil dripping into there. So I started doing this because I noticed the weather's turning colder, and I may as well get rid of all that bloody oil I've got, plus the fact I can get loads more. I can get any god's amount of expired chip oil, but there you go. But I thought, well, it's getting colder, you best get on with it now, and I needed a break from the lathe. And of course, what has the weather done? Indian summer. Indian summer. And look at those apples. Look at those apples, eh? Thousands of them on the floor. We can't eat them fast enough. If we eat 2 or 3 a day, we're not getting through them. Keith's got the same up on the hill there. Can you see those up there? There's bloody thousands up there. They're cooking apples and eating apples, and there's also pears, but I can't get to them. They're right in the far corner. So there you go. But what a beautiful day. Right folks, that's it for today. It's 4:51 and I'm going to pack up and head off home because it's past the Rubicon for welding. Okay, bye now. Afternoon folks. Friday, 1:25, and there's the burner finished. I haven't welded this up yet, but I'm just going to tack it around. That's a closing plate for there, that's a closing plate for underneath there. Job's a good one. But I've decided to leave that for now because I'm not going to get it finished this week, so I'm not going to light it this week, so you're going to have a huge anticlimax. I'll do this next week, right, and I'll finish it. I've got to sort out a fuel tank, but we'll get it finished and get it running next week. So I've continued with this. I've drawn a nice curve on the bench, and I think I've got it just about spot on. It's an awkward little sod to get that curve matching all the way around. I've cut this bit back as the original one, and I've just got that little bit of play now, so I'm going to have an offer up and see how it goes, and when I get it done I'll bring you back and show you. But it's looking rather good. It's looking a lot better than it was. Okay, bye now. And there we go folks, that's now in exactly the right position. So all I need to do is put a tack in there and check it, and once it's tacked then we can fettle the edge and fettle the height here to match exactly. But that has taken a lot of prattling about with, but it's right now, so I'm going to tack it. So I'll bring you back when I've done it and fettled it. Bye now. Right people, just after 3 o'clock and we're in position. We're in position. So next job is to put that piece of round bar onto there in the right place and get it punched and drilled and tapped. So there you go. Right, onward. Well, at last it's taking shape. That looks not bad. Obviously I'll be getting some nicer screws than that, they're just temporaries, but that's actually taking shape. It's actually beginning to look the part. And I've just done some more fettling to it. This whole job is just about fettling really. It's let me just see if I can lift this off one-handed. I probably can't. Okay, look at the floor for a minute. There we are. So inside, I've got that piece fully welded on there now, as you can see. That's welded both sides. I may just have to file this hole a little bit to get proper clearance, but I think it is clear. It's clear all the way around anyway. So I've got a piece to put in here to fill this hole up, right, which will be a piece of this, which will be just cut to the curve and then just welded, just tack welded in, and then probably seamed up solid. So it will then become the proper shaped piece. But it fits well. The next thing I have to do is to take this. I think I'll put it in the shaper and put a flat on it, because this, if you take this screw out, that matches the diameter of there, right? So it wants a flat machining on it. In fact, I could mill it. I could mill it, couldn't I? I might use the shaper. See how I can set the shaper up and see if the shaper does a good job. Yeah, because I want to preserve my milling cutters. Let's do it with the shaper. Bit of shaper action if we can. And that will then go on there, like that. And once again get welded on. And it's about, the screws want to be at 9.5 inch centres, but what I shall do is once it's on, I shall fit the case, put the screw back in there, fit the case, get it lined up, and then transfer punch through the hole. Because these, I think I've told you before, these holes are like keyhole slots, and you drop the cover on, slide the cover on, and then it drops, and the screw head goes up against the shoulder and holds it in place. You can see that, can't you? Yes. So they have to be right. As you might guess, there isn't much room for leeway. Anyway, or should I say there isn't much leeway. Anyway, folks, it's Friday. It's 4:15, and I think my creativity for today is about drained, so I think I'm going to call it a day. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you all again on Monday to finish this. Thank goodness, it's taken some doing this. It's a fiddly little job. Finish this, finish the stove, and next week we'll have it lit and just see how it works. But I have to sort out, I'm pretty sure I've got a fuel tank outside in the outside store. It's an old steel fuel tank off a garden tractor. So that'll do for me. That'll do for my oil tank. And I'm pretty sure I've got several fans. As I said, there used to be an oil-fired boiler that worked exactly like this. It had a fan, a little ignition coil around a wick, and when you switched it on, there was a click, the oil valve opened, a basin filled up with oil, the coil around the wick heated up, it popped a light, and then the fan started, but the fan was actually mounted outside, and it blew through holes in the oil pot, and the heating coil for the water was directly above the oil pot. It was one of the ones I used to service many moons ago. So I actually think I have got one of the fans that was fitted to that type of boiler down in my collection, so I might even use that. Okay, that's it for this week, folks. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking. Give us a comment, and please subscribe. Subscriber numbers going up. Welcome aboard everybody that's new. Okay, see you later. Bye now.